So let's get into it. So the claimant has had urgent care. He has had a couple chiros. Um, he has made a wage loss claim of which I've accepted 50% of. He has other open bodily injury claims. According to surveillance, as social media, the claim has not impacted his normal life. So far, I value the claim to be somewhere between $7,500 and $10,000. So I call him up and I go, hi. He was like, oh, it's you. I said, yep. I have called today with authority to settle your claim. I would like to talk to you about it. You have told me you're getting an attorney. Do you have an attorney? Are you planning to get one? No, I just want you to do the right thing. Okay. Well, I intend to do the right thing. I intend to do the reasonable thing. So let's talk about it. So what number were you at? 30,000. I'm like, well, I can't do that. Do you have a reasonable number you would like to discuss? Yeah, how about 15? I'm like, okay, that's a reasonable number. This is something that I can work with. For the first time, he's given me a number that I can actually work with. I put a value on his claim. I have discussed it at length with him. So I say, well, today, let's go ahead and resolve it. A closed claim is a happy claim. I will give you $7,500. That's $7,500 for bodily injury release. And then I'll send you out the check once you sign it. Oh, what do you think about that? Well, that's not $15,000. Well, no, it's not. But it's based on the fair market value I've placed on the claim. And when I go through all the factors that I've just discussed with him, he goes, oh, okay. He goes, well, what about $10,000? I'm like, okay, this is good. We're going in the right direction. We're talking in reasonable numbers. This is something that I can do. This is within my, I originally assessed it at $7,500, but $10,000 is not much more. He has shown that he does have a claim. I have been able to verify that we're liable. He's received treatment. He's done all the right things. So I say, listen, let's do this. I think that it would be reasonable for us to split it. You have merits, I have merits. I have cons, you have cons. We all have a mixture of different things that we can discuss. I think that we've already gone over it. So why don't we do $8,500? That's $8,500. I can send you out a release through DocuSign. You just sign the DocuSign. And when I get it back, I'll send you out a check. How does that sound? And he says, well, I'm going to have to think about it. That's perfectly fine. If you want to think about it, you can. So I say, okay. Well, why don't I call you on Friday? Today is Wednesday. I'll call you on Friday. We'll check in. I'll see where you're at. But I have to let you know that I really can't go any higher than $8,500. Well, if you don't do that, I'm going to get an attorney. Well, you can. That's it's a free country. You can do what you want. If you believe that you need legal counsel, then you would need to do the research to do that. For my license, I can't even give you the appearance of giving legal advice. I'll check back in on Friday. So we decide to end the call. Everything's good. He's going to think about it. I'm going to call him back. So I call him back on Friday. He says, well, I thought about your offer, and I'm stuck at $10,000. Now, for a claim handler, the thought process that is going through my mind is that, I'm not going to blow a claim for a couple $1,000s, especially since they've had treatment. More than likely, and I can't speak for attorneys, but more than likely, they may see that there's other treatment that they would like the claimant to have. Lawsuits are expensive. Um, there's a lot that goes into it. And I tell him, I say, listen, what I want to do is I want to resolve the claim. We've been going back and forth. You've been coming down, I've been going up. So let's do this. Let's do it for $9,000. That's more than I started at. That's less than what you started out. I think that's reasonable. I send you a DocuSign, you can sign it. He says yes. So finally the claim is resolved. He gets the DocuSign, he signs it, my release is signed, I send him out the money. Now, was this a good business decision on my part? Well, yes. It's cheaper than a lawsuit. I've already spent money on surveillance. If I wasn't able to work out a deal, I just ended up sending out more surveillance, doing more background checks. There's only so much you can do. And we haven't talked about the jurisdictional issues, but he resided in Georgia. That's very bad for us. So I thought it was a good business deal. It's just something you have to do. Now, if I had thought if it was a disputed claim, or I believe Georgia's 50% bars. If he was 50% or more at fault, then that would have dramatically reduced to a very minimal what I would pay. If he was in Texas, that's bad for us. So I would be more likely to set a little higher. Louisiana is bad. There are certain states that aren't good. So, there's a lot of things that go on in the mind of a claim handler. And a lot of it's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of work. I know that when I did claim handling, I always wanted to do what was fair. I wanted to have all my documents together. I just wanted to do a good job, and everybody's happy. Now, of course, there are some people that are not going to be reasonable, and there are some people that really just don't want to make a bodily injury claim because they're not injured. They don't want to make a fraudulent claim. Or then there's some people that feel like that the insurance company owes them something. Well, accidents happen. Nobody set out that day determined to mess up your day. But it happens. Negligence is everywhere. I can think on several occasions I almost got into accidents through my own negligence. This is why we have insurance. So I think that you really have to understand that. And also I think that a lot of people don't understand that claim handlers are people too. So when somebody calls us up and screams at us and is not being reasonable, that's it's hard for us. Getting 30 calls like that a day is emotionally difficult. So there's a lot of things to consider, especially when you're understanding the claim handlers when it writes the checks. So there's something about working with the person, and if you're injured, you're injured. Document it. If you feel like you need a lawyer, that's what you need to do. If the lawyer feels like they need to file a lawsuit, that's what they feel like they need to do. So that's kind of sums up the fourth part. We brought the claim to resolution. It was a $9,000, all wrapped up. The claimant's PD was under $1,000. I added $200 for loss of use, reasonable loss of use. So that was good. Claim has been resolved. I get to go on to the new claim. He has some money for his pain and suffering. And I've talked about this a lot, but I have to realize that a couple $1,000s will change people's lives. Where I deal with it every day, and I deal with a lot of different amounts, some greater, some a lot greater. So I kind of lose that sensitivity that these are very important numbers to people. This man might not ever see $9,000 given to him again. So that's the conclusion of the injury claims. If you want to, you can leave comments and I'll be glad to respond. So thank you very much, and drive safely out there. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.